it's Joanna from the blog A Pretty Life in the Suburbs. I'm here today to show you how you can make a gigantic evergreen Christmas wreath for your front door or mantle or wherever you want to hang it. So when I'm putting together my evergreen wreaths, I actually use mostly faux sprigs. And the reason that I do that is because while I would love to have a completely fresh evergreen wreath, I make mine so early in the season and I find that by the time Christmas comes around, my wreath is dried out. So in order to beat that, I actually make my wreath about 80% faux sprigs, but most of the craft stores now make sprigs that are so realistic looking that I think most people would be hard pressed to find whether or not they were fresh or faux. But I do tuck in some fresh greens because I like the smell, and you can just pull them out and add new greens as the season rolls along. So I'll show you how I do that. So let's get started. When I start making these wreaths, I start using 2 large faux sprigs. These are just kind of a good starting point on your wreath. So I take one and I tuck it into the bottom of the wreath on one side, just like that. Don't worry about that stem on the bottom, we'll fix that later. And then I take a similar size stem and I put it on the other side, just to balance it out. Just like that. And then I take a second faux stem and you stick it on one side up here. And take a similar stem and put it on the other side. So the idea with that is whatever you do to one side of your wreath, you do to the other, and it keeps your wreath balanced, and then you really can't do it wrong. So you just keep going. I'm really loving faux flocked stems this year too. I love the look of snow on trees, and I just think they're a really pretty addition. So I've got one for this side of the wreath, just tuck it in. It's really random. It's really about like stepping back and looking where the gaps are and putting your stems in where they're needed. But just remembering that whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. Stick in another faux stem. Yeah, already it looks pretty. Take another little faux stem, stick it in. And then one on this side. Really, when you're making these wreaths, it's really about stepping back and looking to see where the gaps are. And wherever you see a gap, like I see one here and I see one here, that's where you're just gonna stick another sprig. And at this point, you can keep using faux greens. I have a lot of them, so I'm gonna use those. But at any time, if you wanna use your fresh greens, they can stick in wherever you want. So I'm just gonna take a few more, just to fill it out. I like these wreaths really full. The more greens, the merrier. Tuck in the middle. Want to leave a little bit of room here so that you can hang a ribbon, but you can really get as close together in the middle as you like. Stick another one of those there. There, it already looks nice. But this is where I like to tuck in some of the fresh greens. My favorites to use are fir, and I also really love cedar. I especially love cedar because I love the way that it hangs and drapes. So I'm gonna put some of those on right now to show you. So when you're using cedar, grab pieces that are probably, at least 10 inches long, because I think they look really nice the way they spill out. So I just take these randomly, put them in. And I don't use any floral wire on these. I just use the grapevine as the base for sticking the stems in. It seems to hold them really well. And then I also like that I'm not committed to using this wreath base. So at the end of the season, I can take these all off and I can use it for a spring wreath. So just take more of your cedar and just keep tucking. You want them to spill out. I think they look really nice when they're hanging down like that. It's not about having things look perfect. It's what you like. So if you step back and you like how it looks and you think that you're done, then you're done. If you want to keep going, just keep on going. I like tons of these. The cedar smells nice. And like I said, I just really love the look of how it falls. Just keep on going. We're actually almost done. These wreaths don't take very long to make. I know they look complicated, but they're really not. You're just shoving in stems into a wreath base. If you don't like how it looks, then try something different. Okay, so now I'm going to put in a couple of these fresh fir pieces. I like how they smell. And they fill gaps nice. See, there was a little gap there. Now that looks nice. Do the same thing to this side. See a little spot there. Tuck something in there. One more up here. There, it's looking so pretty. Now it just needs some color. I don't like to put a lot of color on these wreaths because I really like them to look natural. So I don't put too many colorful things other than a ribbon and some faux berries. I do like the big ones because you can see them. So these, I just take them, you just stick them in wherever. One on one side, one on the other. I'm kind of trying to make it in the same spot so they're even to your eyes. Looks pretty. More down here. I'm going to put just one more. Actually, no, I think that's good. I also like to use some pine cones. These are the only things that I use that have floral wire, and it's because they came with them. But if you have pine cones that you like, it is a good idea to wrap some wire on them so that you have a little, I guess like a stick to poke in. I just take these and I shove them into the base. One on one side and one on the other. So it's looking pretty balanced and nice. Okay, so what are we gonna do about this stuff? This is just a piece of the wreath that came out, and you can actually just tuck that back in. Grapevine wreaths are very forgiving. And then these big stems, same thing, just I feel up in here, and there's a little spot I can tuck it into. You can use floral wire if you find that they won't stick. And you just kind of tie it to the base. There you go, they're tucked away, you can't even see them. There, we're almost done. So one of the last things that I like to do is add a ribbon. I think it adds a lot of texture and fun and kind of whimsy to your wreath. My favorite, as you know if you follow along, I love plaids, and I especially love buffalo check. So this year, to do something a little different, I decided to use a buffalo check ribbon that I had on my tree last year, but it's perfect for this wreath. My goal this year actually is to reuse a lot of the elements for Christmas that I have already. And so I just dug this out of my stash, and I encourage you to do that too. Use what you have. So I just take this wreath and or this ribbon, and I wrap it around, kind of like a tie. You make a loop, pull it through. You can make a big, you can make a big ribbon if you like. I just like to tie them like a scarf. And then I'm going to cover up some stuff in there with a few more sprigs. I lost some berries, so don't worry if things fall out. You just tuck them back in. If you want things tighter, then use floral wire, but like I said, you really don't need it. Okay, so down here I'm going to tug a few extra berries. There we go. Maybe a little sprig, fir tree. Just to kind of make that ribbon look like it's nice and tucked in there. And then stand back. So just a few more things about this wreath before I go. You can hang this wreath anywhere, obviously. I like the really big wreath bases, and I do like to hang them on my front door. They are a little big, but you can trim the edges if you like, but they don't really bother me. I like the statement they make. They also look beautiful on a mantle because the scale of them is large enough that they're a really good statement piece as well. And you know, you can tailor your ribbon to match your own home decor. Put whatever type of boughs and fresh greens in your wreath that you like. Just really make it your own and love it. I love my wreath and I enjoy making these every year. So yeah, I hope you make one. And thanks for watching. If you, like I said, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'm always happy to help, but I hope that this gave you an idea of how to put them together and really show you how easy they are. They don't take an hour to make. If you have 15 minutes, just shove those greens in there. Enjoy. Thanks again for watching.